Good evening. It's evening time here. Good afternoon to some of you guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. I've been taking a self care day, kind of relaxing with my girlfriend, watching TV all day. Blessings of recovery. Let me tell you, it's nice to be able to kick back and relax and enjoy it, man. It's been a nice day. Sitting here contemplating what we're going to eat for dinner. I think it's going to be potatoes in the deep fryer. Those sound absolutely amazing. I want to hop on, throw a little bit of Sunday motivation at you guys tonight, and talk about the fear of change and exactly that. Really, no ands or us about that. It's the fear of change, the fear of the unknown, the woulda, coulda, shouldas, the outcomes of a situation that may arise, the what ifs, the unsures, the unwillingness to change. Man, I can remember that. I was stubborn as hell. Control issues. I wanted what I wanted when I wanted it, and you couldn't tell me a thing. I was stubborn as hell. I still am, to be honest with you. You know, I had I had a hard time. I was afraid to be honest with people and let other people know how I really felt, where I was coming from, my struggles, and that I needed help. Um, I was afraid to talk about feelings, my life in general. I just would not tell anybody anything about me, where I was, where I was at. Welcome, guys. Phil, see you, brother. Love you, man. I heard your stream earlier today. Awesome stuff, man. God's working in your life. He's working in my life. God is good. I, I always asked myself when I was in active addiction, man, if I was ever going to be happy, exactly. Fear keeps us stuck, and I was stuck. Like, I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I couldn't reach out for help. I was miserable. Um, it was easier, or for some that are still struggling right now, it's still easier to self medicate and forget, to cover up all that pain and fear and guilt and shame and ego that, I personally struggled with. I don't know about you guys, but I would say a lot of you have. Self medicating was so much easier than hitting that fear and surrendering head on and, turning it over to something greater than myself. Um, I was stuck in that vicious cycle. Phil nailed it. Stuck is the key word. I was stuck in that vicious cycle of addiction and mental health. It was untreated and I was a mess. I called it my circle of hell, my circle of chaos. Some make it back. Some are blessed and make it back. Some don't make it back. Some become suicidal, and some apply themselves daily, day in and day out, and they have a chance to recover. Let's do that. That is the key. That is the way out, is to turn it over to something greater than ourselves and surrender, let go, and for me, God guide me. And with application, I know everything is going to be okay. It's easier said than done at times because, again, I'm an addict. I want what I want when I want it. And when things don't happen when I think they should or how I feel they should, I get frustrated. I still do. But I've learned that working the 12-step program that I personally work and talking with people that love and understand me, using the tools in my recovery toolbox, and I push through that fear and surrender daily. This isn't just a one-time, one and done shot, guys. This is something that has to happen day in and day out. We have to stay vigilant and surrender daily. My addiction, my personal addiction, does not take a break. It is at me. The devil is at me day in and day out. And I have to stay vigilant and surrender daily and push through those fears. It's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and BS anybody. It's hard work. You got to have the willingness to put in that work. But man, let me tell you what, the blessings of recovery keep coming day in and day out when I do this and I practice this. It's amazing things. I've had to teach myself personally, nothing changes if nothing changes. I think we've all heard that. And I've literally had to change all aspects of my life. That's right. Never rest. And I don't. Phil, you're right, Phil. It doesn't rest. It never takes a break. It's there beating on our doors right now. I'm this close away from possibly making a mistake and going back out if I don't stay vigilant. And I've realized that finally. My eyes are open. I've had to learn to slow myself down and not overwhelm myself, give myself a break, slow myself down, because when I take on too much, when I'm changing things, I'm in trouble. For me, that's personally a red flag. And it's just awareness of those red flags. I was always scared of how I was going to feel, how I was going to get through my day without using dope. That was a huge fear of mine. It was a huge fear of mine. But, since I've surrendered and I've turned it over, man, things have just gotten so much better. In time, the longer we stay in recovery, we start outgrowing those old habits. We start outgrowing those old behaviors. And we start learning healthier ways to process and deal with life when life shows up. We don't put our dope on it when life shows up. We don't self-medicate when life shows up. We push through this and we reach out. We use our support networks, whether it's virtual, whether it's in person, whatever tools you have in your recovery toolbox that works for you, use them, burn them up, use them. Reach out and ask for help. It was so hard for me to do that, but man, when I did that, it felt like a huge elephant was lifted off my back. And it's become more natural. I've become more comfortable applying these in my life daily. It's just become a routine. It's just normal for me. My first thought today is not to put dope on whatever problem may arise for today. I reach out and I talk. I let you guys know where I'm at. I let my sponsor know where I'm at. I share in meetings, man. That's what it's all about. That is the therapeutic value of one person helping another. The like-minded similarities that we all share and relate to. It's why it's so important to share with other people. Life on life's terms has become easier. It's been easier to manage and cope with daily by using these tools in our toolbox or in my personal toolbox, changing my mindset from a negative one to a positive one and getting out of that stinking thinking and having that attitude of gratitude daily, day in and day out has helped me tremendously. And like I said, just finding faith and trust in something greater than myself. It doesn't have to be God, guys. Don't let the God word scare you. Good, orderly direction, however you want to apply it. Get outside of yourself is all I'm saying. And have faith and trust in that process. Because I know when I run on self-will and I don't have faith and trust in my higher power, I'm in trouble. 10 times out of 10, I break out in handcuffs and I end up in trouble. Damn near every time. So, just practicing patience, doing the right thing daily, embracing that positive change in moderation in my life where I don't become overwhelmed has been a huge blessing in applying change and surrendering in my life. Knowing that everything is going to happen when it's meant to and how it's supposed to. It's going to happen on my higher power's time, not on Joe's time. Took me a long time to realize that. Welcome, Mike. Welcome, everybody that's in here. I really appreciate you guys coming in. It's going to happen when it's meant to. It's really going to happen when it's meant to. I just had to quit. I had to practice. You know how hard practice and patience is for me? Oh, my God. It's horrible. I mean, it's absolutely. My girlfriend's next to me laughing right now. It's terrible because I am the most impatient person in the world. Ride with me on the way to work when I'm driving through downtown Dayton in the morning and see how impatient I can get. Oh my gosh. It's terrible. But I know everything's going to be okay if I just keep doing the right thing and I keep surrounding myself with the winners. We're all winners. We're all in recovery. We're all struggling, but we're all pushing through this today. And each and every one of you guys are winners. Each and every one of you are loved. There's people out there that love and care about you, and you're worth it. You have to tell yourself, I can do this and I will do this, and give yourself those positive affirmations. I say this all the time. I had to give myself a break, quit pumping them quarters in that butt kicking machine, ass kicking machine. I'm cussing today, and give myself a break because I kicked my own ass for decades, 20 plus years, chronic homelessness, in and out of institutions and prisons. It was miserable, guys. And I just learned to change my mindset and my stinking thinking. Today it's amazing. The blessings of recovery are awesome. Faith will eventually replace fear. And knowing that our higher power is going to guide us through anything and everything that life can throw at us is an amazing feeling. It really is. When that faith starts to replace that fear and you have that faith and trust, knowing that your higher power has your back daily. That's the blessing of recovery, guys. It really is. And it's taken me a while to get to this point, and I'm still learning daily. I'm remaining teachable, and day in and day out, things just keep getting better and better by doing the next right thing. Simple program, complicated people. I'm super complicated and I can overcomplicate everything. I love you guys. I appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. I appreciate you guys taking the time out. Megan, hello. Welcome everybody that's new, that's coming in. Hey, quick plug for my meeting on Thursday before I forget. I've got a great speaker lineup Thursday night, 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central. You guys can do the math on whatever time zone you're in, but I got two guys, 50 plus years of recovery. They personally work in Narcotics Anonymous program. This is a safe place for anyone struggling with mental health and addiction issues, guys. Please tune in. Please listen. All the information's on the page. Like it, get a reminder. I hope you guys, if you have time, can tune in. If not, check it out. It'll always be on the page and you can listen to it. One of the guys is my sponsor. They're from the Memphis, Tennessee area and that general central southern Tennessee. It's going to be a fun night, guys. It's going to be a real fun night. I'm super excited. Thanks again. I hope you guys all have a blessed evening. Participate in your recovery. Reach out to people that you know may possibly be struggling. Reach out to your loved ones, guys. Tomorrow is never promised. So take full advantage of today and be productive and stay vigilant in your recovery. I love you guys. I hope you guys all have a good night. Thanks everybody for being here. I love you. See you.